Andy, thank you for joining us this evening after a 2-1 defeat against Solihull Moors at home. It just seemed to be one of those days, but some of your thoughts after that?
Disappointed because as good as the season's been, we've come up short twice in the local derbies against them, and that's disappointing to get 0 points again today. A bit like with their New Year's Eve. It's not what you want. I thought we did some good things today, but ultimately we've come up short in key areas and not got anything.
In the first half, it seemed to be a solid performance going in at 1-0. What changed the game in your opinion, or what maybe swayed the second half towards the visitors?
Simple, really. They defended their box a lot better than we did. I've looked at the stats. We had a lot more shots than them, a lot more inroads into the final third. But ultimately, they've had 2 or 3 set pieces and they've scored 2 goals from it, and that's not good enough from us. We have to defend better. Flipping it round, we've had enough chances to win the game. So, unfortunately, the fundamentals of football, most of it's done in the boxes, and we weren't good enough in either one. Something we pride ourselves on normally, and today we wasn't good enough. Like I said, the 2 goals they've scored for me are both stoppable if we're at it, and we have created enough chances to win the game.
We saw Matt Curley leave the pitch with his hand covered. Is there any major issues in terms of that injury, or is it more precautionary?
I don't really know. I haven't really spoke to Beth yet about the injuries. Obviously, he came off with, I guess it was his hand, so we'll have a look at that over the next day or so.
Just in terms of this season, I guess, last week our points meant that we'd actually secured our place in the division, and maybe that wasn't so much of a worry recently, but if you'd have said that at the start of the season, I'm sure you'd have been very pleased.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I don't want to take away from the season we've had. I've said that before. It's like Maidman. It doesn't matter. When we have a blip, I'm not happy because I want to do better. If we'd got 100 points, I want 103. We've got 60 and I want to add to that. Yes, I'd have took 60 at the start of the season. I'd snap your hand off. Of course I would. But, when we get a big crowd here and it's a local derby and we have as many chances and they have as few chances as they had, I expect us to get some out of the game, and we didn't today. So I'm disappointed today. I'm not disappointed when we lose a local derby. It's a day I won't be doing it.
We move on to Forest Green Rovers away on Easter Monday, a team that hadn't actually lost at home in over a year until a week or so ago. Another team at the top. How do you approach that game?
That's going to be tough, isn't it? They play for set pieces. We've just said it there. If we defend their set pieces like that on Monday, it's going to be a long, long afternoon, because that was they play for. They've got a long throw. They've got loads of lads 6 foot plus. So some people have to stand up and be counted and take responsibility when we're defending set pieces. And if we don't do that Monday, it'll be a tough afternoon. If we do that, there's no reason why we can't go there with the shackles off and go and enjoy the experience, and try and add to our total.
And finally, 1,850 people at the Lamb today. It's a shame that the fans couldn't see a win, but going into our final home game of the season next week against Solihull, what's your message to them? Yeah,
let's get as many here as we can, because like we said, we have had a good season, and like I said, from a neutral today was probably not a bad game because there was a lot of goal manufacture at both ends. As a Tamworth fan, you're disappointed to lose. As a manager, I am. But there's certainly not a lack of trying, and it's not like we're negative. We're probably too open at times. I'd like to be winning games 1-0 if I'm being really honest. But from a fan's perspective, come down next week and let's finish the season off with let's try and get a victory and round it off nicely.
Andy, thank you for your time today, and we'll speak to you on Monday.
No problem. Cheers.